Or I forgot what I was supposed to do. There we go. So I am Major Jedi Koval. I work with the 415 Special Operations Squadron. And what we're looking for is some programmers to help us out with a scheduling tool. So I want to give you a quick background on us, what we do, give you an idea of what kind of things we schedule, how we're currently doing it, and how we'd like to do in the future. So we are a Special Operations Squadron. We fly the MC-130J and the HC-130J. But the MC-130 is a Special Operations aircraft. They have a Special Operations mission. HC-130J is a search and rescue and personnel recovery aircraft. So very similar aircraft, just different missions. So we provide the same training, very similar syllabus that they go through, but a little bit different aircraft. The students we receive them from the academic side. They go through 3 to 4 months of academic training, then they come to us for flight training. They don't come to us like a normal school semester, normal school year. So they're continuously rolling in, rolling out. So it's a challenge to keep track of who's there, what phase of training they're in, and how we can best support them. Currently, we use a Excel spreadsheet, and we do everything by hand. And that's essentially my office job. And it keeps me away from my flying job, keeps me away from my training job, and it takes several hours a day. And it seems like a simple problem. It seems like, hey, schedule these students for these flights, but it becomes very complicated with all these students with different phases and different timelines. So it becomes a full-time job to schedule these students. The big challenge too is next year we're going to double the number of classes that are coming through. So the problems and challenges that we have right now, they're only going to double. They're only going to increase. And yeah, I'll admit that I definitely make mistakes. I definitely make errors in what I do. So if we had a tool, some kind of software that helped alleviate that and helped increase our efficiency, it would be amazing. We're constantly behind. We're constantly, not a lot behind, but 2 years ago we were actually a whole year behind, just based on scheduling, maintenance, weather issues, all that caused us to be behind. So catching up and making sure we're accurate and making sure we're efficient is definitely key. So next 3 slides, just to show you the kind of things we schedule. I'm not going to go in depth and detail into it, but give you an idea of what we do. So, like I said, they come to us from the academic side. They come to us, they initially start doing ground training. So all the GTs are ground training. We go from that to the air-land phase. Air-land phase is all pilot pro, essentially teaching people how to take off, land, control the aircraft. So very basic stuff. They go from that to day tac training. Day tac's where we start doing all the airdrops, low-level flying, refueling helicopters, refueling CV-22s, all the things that go into our mission set. And then we go into the night phase. The night phase, we do all the same things that we do during the daytime, except now we're doing it at night with no lights on, wearing night vision goggles. So definitely a challenging mission, but definitely fulfilling. Once they're complete with all their training, they go through their check ride. So these are the kinds of things I schedule. This is kind of the very basic stuff. There's a lot of training requirements to go into each ride, and it takes a lot of time to keep track of that. So these are for our pilots and CISOs. Pilots are obviously pilots, CISOs are navigators with some extra duties involved. Loadmaster training, very similar. We do some of the things out of order to facilitate a more logical flow of their training, but very similar flight training. Then we also have transition students. Transition students are students who have flown this mission before but in a different aircraft. So they know how to do airdrops, they know how to do low-level flying, just not how to use our equipment to make that happen. Now, the big issue that happens with these guys is that usually they're in leadership positions and they're in high demand. They want to get back to their squadrons, back to their units as fast as possible. So when they come in, we have to immediately change our entire schedule, and we got to facilitate their training. We got to push them in, make them a priority. So just having them come in creates another huge issue in trying to schedule and trying to keep all our stuff on track. So here's an example of what we currently use. We call it Battle Board. It's just a nickname for an Excel product. Really, every morning I come in and I check the post-mission reports, and that tells me what happened the night prior, what happened during that training. It tells me what students completed their rides, what students incompleted. It tells me what they completed. They completed an airdrop, they completed X, Y, or Z. And I take that and I update this schedule by hand. And it will take me usually at least until lunch just to get the schedule updated. And then after lunch, I started trying to do some ground training with my students. I started trying to do some flight planning, and then I hear, oh, so-and-so got sick, so-and-so has an appointment. So now I have to go back in and reflow the whole schedule again. So what will happen is, for example, they're on night tac 1, the very first night flight. They incomplete that flight. Well, now they have to do night tac 1-2. And that in itself is pretty simple. So now each one that I had planned them out, because I progged them out for their entire training. So now each one that was a 3, now it's a 2, now it's a 4, now it's a 3, and so on. The ones that really get complicated is when it goes from a airland phase to a day tac phase, and then from day tac to night tac. Because essentially I will have someone scheduled for airland 4, and their very next flight will be a day tac. So that's what I'm hoping, that's what I'm expecting. When they incomplete that airland phase, now I don't have anywhere to put them. I don't have a spot to put them. So now I gotta look at the next week, and all the students that were in a flight, I may have to take them out in order to facilitate this guy's training. So now I've taken all these students out, I put them aside, and I've reflowed not only that airland 4 student, but now the students that were in that current line, and probably more students continuously throughout this whole scheduling process. So it's just a huge wave, a huge continuum of trying to schedule, trying to put people in the right places at the right times. So what we'd like is to be able to do that almost automatically. We can just push a button that says populate, and it determines the correct kind of flying sorting, the airland sorting, night tac sorting, what it might be, prioritizes which students go into what spot. It would save me 5-6 hours a day. So that's just me. That doesn't include the other schedulers that we have in our shop that work in other scheduling issues as well. So these requirements are really my requirements, what I have to go through. And they're really just a handful of them. And of course, if we can make a scheduling tool work for our purposes, they would have to follow those requirements as well. Big ones, can't fly students twice in a row, gotta fly them at least once a week, no more than twice a week, and so on. So they're all there, I'm not gonna go through each one of them, but all these different little criteria that obviously have to be built in some kind of tool to help us out. Request on the bottom, that's really more of a nicety. We all carry iPads. iPads is what we use for all our publications, all our flight tools, all that stuff. So if we had some kind of tool to be able to put on an iPad and I could work on it remotely, that would be amazing. The one that I think might be a little too far reaching is we use a scheduling tool called GTIMS. GTIMS is essentially just almost like a calendar. You just put the stuff in the calendar and it'll let maintenance know we're flying certain times. It'll also track our grade books and all that. And there's some way to integrate that scheduling tool into GTIMS that again would save us an enormous amount of time. So again, with that being said, thank you very much for everybody coming out here. I hope there's someone out here who can help us out, save me some time, let me get back to flying, get me back to train our students. So thank you very much.